Hey, this is BA. We're going to be doing squares here. This is a little bit different than what I've been doing. So we'll pick up from there and head off into a new area. This is Caterpillar Weekly. I'm going to call it CAT from here on out. It's a US-based stock. And our first objective is to locate a significant low. Here we've got the 2009 low on March 3rd of 2009. This is low marked off on a daily chart with the horizontal line set on the low price of 21.71. This price is extremely significant as we're going to generate turns off of it. What I've done here is I've taken 21.71 days, taken the price of 21.71 at the low, used it as base, and started adding days to it. This generates our squaring of price with time. Very critical concept to understand. So all these dates were generated using that technique. And we're going to put these dates and mark them off on a chart. Have a look at them. The arrows were drawn in to show you the market action at those dates. A strict variance of 2 time units, days, in this chart was allowed either side. You've heard of, lost motion when it comes to price. This is lost motion with time. You can pause this and have a better look at it in great detail. Notice that some really good turns were hit, but not all the turns were hit. The reason for this is that there's other points squaring those turns, not our low of 21.71 in March of 2009. There's this high up here that was missed. There's a good high here that was missed, and up there. So you can see it doesn't hit all the turns, but it does hit quite a few. The other turns come from different points. They're squaring from different points. What this is we're taking a look at, we'll call it the skeleton of the market, not the meat. Your cycles are the meat, and they will tell you when exactly the turn will come. That's not the function here. The function is we want to overlay the skeleton with the meat. We want these two to combine. So we're working with what I call the skeleton. All right. Now, we've taken a look at the daily. Let's take a look at the weekly. Again, you take 21.71 days and you multiply it by 7 because there's 7 days in a week. You get 151.9. So here, 21.71 weeks were added to the base. This gives us our dates for the monthly chart and the weekly chart and so on. Again, the arrows marking off the turns. We're going to take a closer look at these, but as you can see, just using that, they do quite well. Here we have the August 2009 pivot, which we rocketed up to, then went sideways for a month. Oh. Okay. Rocket up, goes sideways for a while. So all these aren't going to be massive highs and lows. People are like, well, there's a high there, but it's not massive, or doesn't last very long. What's occurring is a trend change. what's occurring is a trend change. That's what this is used for. A smaller high, but a trend change nonetheless at the second arrow, which is at the start of 2010. Here, price went down for 2 months, then up for a year. Keep in mind these are weekly bars. This is June 2010 at the third arrow. I'd say it pretty much captures that low. Over a month of sideways action, then our point hits and price heads up for many months. Late October of 2010. Now I drew that white line in there because I wanted you to see that it was going sideways and then you went up. So it's not always a massive higher low. It's a trend change. And you want this to coincide with your cycles telling you you're due for a trend change. That's the key, is to put those two together. You don't want to be using just this. I mean, it's okay, but you'd only be getting 40% of the effect, if you will. While we clearly missed the technical high up there at the top, our point was not taken out by 5 points. It was in early April of 2011. Folks, markets are fractal. That's what makes this work. Is the fractal nature of the market. We'll get more on that here in a minute. A small low in a congestion area, end of August of 2011. Check the uptrend, and as soon as the time cycle had peaked, we then headed down, end of January of 2012. You know, this video is being shot at the tail end of December of 2023, and it would still be working like this at this time. I mean, it's still working. You know, we're looking at stuff from 2012 here. Our point is in 2009. It's still just as valid. And you'd be like, well, how is that? How come is that working like that? It's the fractal nature of markets. But it's also the key in how it's hacked. That meaning the fractal nature of the markets is a key to how to hack into it. Here we've got a nice low. Notice a few things. Number one, our last arrow was at the top. And here we headed down to the next arrow. Then note that from our arrow, we moved sideways for over a year. Here we have a low heading up for several months. End of November 2013. Next, we have a low that checked the downtrend, end of April 2013. A small low in a congestion area, end of September of 2013. Very small low, very, very small low. And we check the uptrend, turning price sideways down. February of 2014.